Anthony. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks for agreeing to make this interview.
No problem.
Do you know what gender roles are?
Yes.
And what do you think about them?
In my opinion, gender roles are customs that have been forged in ancient times that state gender over a certain work. For example, men tend to go hunting. This was an example like back in the day, men tend to go hunting for food, which actually was needed to survive, and women would stay on the caves or on their villages, taking care of the children and doing house chores. So since then, the roles for men and women have been modifying, but in core have stayed like the same. Nowadays, men tend to go to work and women tend to stay at homes, taking care of the children and doing house chores.
And are there any gender roles in your family?
I think so, yeah.
And how would you describe them?
Well, for instances, I think that they are pretty clear. My father always goes to work from Monday to Friday, like from 7 to 6 p.m. And my mother usually stays home doing house chores. I think they are the most common gender roles in my family.
And do you think that in Mexico there are customs that involve the issue of gender roles?
Yes, I think so.
And can you mention an example?
There are a lot of examples, but I will go with another of my family, my grandparents. My grandfather he's retired, so he doesn't work anymore. And basically he has the customs of sitting at the table and waiting for food to be served to him. And my grandmother is like one of the women who were raised to serve their husband, their father, and their children in any way they could. So my grandmother usually goes to the kitchen and starts preparing food, cooking, and serves my grandfather in everything he wants. But that usually tends to a really toxic relationship between them because they usually end up arguing and fighting. So I think, yeah, that's an example.
Nice example. And is there any religion in your family?
Yes.
Which one?
Catholic.
What does your religion say about gender roles?
The Holy Bible states that the male, or in this case the husband, is the head of the family. So in order for that to be achieved, everybody else in the family, including the wife and the women, need to be obedient to the men. So that's like a pretty gender role because men like tend to make the decisions in the Catholic religion and women need to be obedient to them.
And do you agree?
I don't completely agree and I don't completely disagree. It's like 50-50. For instance, in my opinion, it is a good statement, a good value, obedience, right? So if there is a marriage or a relationship between obedience and discipline, the relationship can go even further and last a lot. But if there is a religion with absolute obedience from one side and absolute dominance from the other, it tends to have really bad impacts and really bad impacts on the person's psychology and health. So I don't think that it's completely like healthy to have a really obedient relationship.
Well, that's all. Thank you for the interview.